I always thought summers in Cleveland had their own rhythm. The way the air smelled faintly of cut grass, the way the sidewalks held onto the warmth of the sun long after it had set, the way conversations seemed to stretch longer when spoken outdoors beneath firefly light. Some people needed oceans or mountains to feel at peace, but for me all it took was a cracked wooden porch, a squeaky chair, and a cool drink in hand. That particular summer evening didn't begin any differently than most. The day had been hot and the farmer's market downtown crowded, so I went early like I always did to beat the rush and pick up fresh produce. My uncle had asked me to grab some wood polish for the workshop, and I wanted tomatoes and peaches for myself. But when I stopped at a little stand tucked at the edge of the market, I saw a handwritten sign in looping cursive: Peach Lemonade, secret recipe, $5 a bottle. The woman running the stand had kind eyes and a voice full of conviction, telling me I'd never drink another lemonade after this one because it tasted like summer itself. I chuckled and nodded politely, not realizing her claim would turn out to be less about the lemonade and more about what would happen when I shared it. By the time I carried the bag up my driveway, the sky was softening into pink and orange, the bottle clinking against the tomatoes as I set it down on the porch, and that's when I heard her voice. "Hey, Alex." Emily Carter, my neighbor 2 houses down, was crossing the street in rolled-up jeans and a white t-shirt smudged with ink from her editing work. She had moved from Chicago the year before, though we'd only exchanged casual greetings. "That looks heavy. Need a hand?" she asked. I held up the bag and joked that 3 tomatoes and a bottle of lemonade wasn't backbreaking. Her eyes caught the bottle. "Lemonade? That looks fancy." "Peach lemonade," I said. "Farmer's market special. Supposed to be life-changing." She grinned and tilted her head. "Life-changing, huh? So are you keeping it to yourself, or would you share?" That simple question cracked open a door neither of us had realized was there. I went inside for glasses, rinsed 2 tall ones, added ice, and carried them back where she leaned on the railing like she belonged there. The porch creaked as we settled into chairs. I poured slowly, the lemonade glowing golden, and she lifted her glass in a mock toast to summer secrets. She sipped, closed her eyes, and smiled the kind of smile that made me feel like I'd done something good simply by pouring. "You weren't kidding," she said. "This really does taste like summer." I laughed. "Told you. Cleveland might not have Chicago's skyline, but we've got porch lemonade." "Touché," she said, sipping again. For a while we just sat, letting the evening stretch out like taffy. Cicadas began their chorus, a radio down the street hummed Motown, kids raced bikes past, a dog barked twice and fell quiet again. "So," Emily asked, "what's Cleveland's best-kept secret besides peach lemonade?" I thought a moment. "Edgewater Park at sunrise. Hardly anyone goes. The lake looks like glass, like the whole city's asleep, and you're the only one awake to see it." She tilted her head, intrigued. "You actually get up that early?" I grinned sheepishly. "Sometimes. When I need to think." "Interesting," she said softly. "I've lived here a year and barely explored. Editing keeps me busy. It's not glamorous, but all-consuming." "Editing what?" I asked. "Manuscripts. New authors mostly. My job is to find the gems and polish them. I love it, but it feels like I live inside other people's stories." "Could be worse," I said. "You could be stuck selling hammers and paintbrushes all day." She laughed. "Touché again. Hardware store life, huh?" "Family business," I said. "Uncle started it 30 years ago. I help out, but what I really love is fixing up furniture with him. Old chairs, tables, whatever people toss. We give them a second life." "That's actually beautiful," she said. "Taking what's broken and making it useful again." I shrugged, embarrassed. "Or maybe we just avoid buying new stuff." Her laugh rang out again, brightening the porch even as the sky deepened. We poured second glasses, then third, conversation wandering from childhood summers to favorite books. She confessed her love for To Kill a Mockingbird. I admitted I reread The Old Man and the Sea whenever life felt heavy. At one point she asked, "Do you ever wonder how many little moments we overlook because we're too busy rushing around?" "All the time," I said. "But sometimes those moments sneak up on us anyway." She smiled, quiet and knowing, and I realized her smile had become the evening's centerpiece. By the time the bottle was empty, the street was hushed. Emily stood, stretching. "Thanks for sharing, Alex. I needed this more than I realized." "Anytime," I said, meaning it. She walked back toward her house, porch light catching her hair, while I stayed seated with empty glasses cool against my palm, listening to cicadas sing as they always had. But something felt different. One ordinary evening, one simple bottle of lemonade, had turned into something I knew I'd remember. And all because she'd asked if I'd share.